That's like circle, fractal land, what they call chaos. And it's not. It's the surrender to the divine, the true surrender to the divine. You're not thinking you're the one in charge. You're not the one manifesting. You are the manifestation.
Okay, so it's just, you know what's funny is that there's so many numbers that talk about Jesus Christ and God and Lord, which in French order is l'ordre. And within the word it says the golden sun.
Well, we can become God-like, but we cannot become gods.
Well, hold on a second. What is the definition of God? Because it is the one who what?
Yeah, no, I get it. So I'm saying we can become lords and God-like, but I think that when we become gods, that's when we become Antichrist. That is what I'm saying. I think that's why we need discernment. We're taught to become the God, become Jesus. That's Antichrist spirit, and that's what I'm saying. That once you get to that point, and psychosis kicks in, and messianic delusions come in, you're denying God because you think you're it. And that's when God, if you really want God, will destroy your ego, will break you, and you will enter into fractals, the true Holy Spirit. But that's not what people want to do because they're afraid of it, and because you guys have committed blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. And those realms have been cut off for a lot of people, unfortunately, through their own free will, because they took the mark of the beast. Because they chose materiality and ego and narcissism and power and conquest. But you cannot enter the kingdom without the beatitude. You have to be broken in spirit. You got to be humble. You have to be poor in spirit and in truth. And that's not very American, is it?
Why did the dog chase the rabbit? Why did the cat catch the fly?
No idea.
Therefore, why did the human do as it does?
MashaAllah.
There's for me, one of the pieces is they're looking for energy. The prize, when you say the word prize, right, it's a French word for an prise, and a prise is a plug-in. So they're looking to plug themselves in something that'll give them that good vibration. Isn't that what we're all looking for? That bio good vibration? So look for the letter I and O in association, like the I-O, the Apple I-O, other than what is the OS. I like to look at myself or the whole thing as an entire matrix. We need the fans to keep things cool. Things have gotten bigger. We had to shrink them in size. Things were slow. We were driving 55. We thought it was safer to drive at 70 now. So all these things are because of the matrix. They're not moving around these things because of the people. The people can say what they want, but they're just going to manipulate the people to say the people said it. But it's nothing to do with us.
Go ahead and call myself global warming right now.
Oh, that's another thing. So the thing about global warming is they really want you to say George Washington.
Oh, dear.
So, what's that?
I don't know who they are, but that's a point where I say that's American propaganda and not the word of God.
So what it is who they are is when you associate and depending on the position. And again, this is another thing that has to be discussed because it's part in theory, but it's an actuality within the math. The T is the first letter, the H is the second letter, the E is the third letter, the Y is the fourth. But if I was on the piano, I would say the Y was first from right to left. But irregardless of that point, because there is a story with that, it's whether you start with the hot or the cold. The cold is to the left and the hot is to the right, according to numbers. And irregardless of that, COLD, 4 letters, equals to 34. HOT, H8, O15, T20 equals to 43, 34 equals to 77. Believe it or not, that's the number to matter and the number to Christ. The same number is associated at the heart position of Leo. And it seems like when Jesus is hung up on the cross and all around these roads there, they seem to put a heart, right, hung up on the cross. And that's, for me, represents Leo with that great big smile. I know it's supposed to be a joke or something, but whatever.
Really quickly, someone in the chat is saying spirit is truth, and yes, that is the truth, and that's why capitalism and a lot of systems deny the existence of spirit and spirituality and the soul because they only want to see you as bodies, because that's how they dehumanize you, right? Anything that is spirit, soul, all of that stuff, they say that it's not science, right? And you should follow the science, because everything that you're describing, again, for them is psychosis. Or worse, it's the Holy Spirit. And again, they don't fuck with the Holy Spirit. They rather us die because we cause problems to their economy.
Okay, is this something you were reading or telling me this reality? Because the end result is yes. And
I'm just speaking. I'm just intelligent, and I believe I'm wise, and I hope that I am.
well, you're just speaking what most of us should be able to see by now, but I don't like to just repeat the words of which part was I agree with you, because even though I know I'm being watched, I'm doing this 20.
That's what amen means, right? Amen means, well, I mean, in practice, supposed to be we come into agreement, right?
Right.
We're co-constructing reality when we come into agreement on words. We construct the matrix through language.
As long as we're not constricting.
Yeah, well.
But we will constrict. We constrict. We construct.
I suggest you go to your Trump about that, because anyone constricting anything on this planet right now, and it's the great restrainer, if anything.
Do you know this is the greatest for me? What's happening now is the greatest thing.
Amen. Me too.
Because I mean, 20 years ago.
I think this is where, like, this is it. Every moment.
Well, this for me is confirmation of everything, a lot of my work that I've been going over, and not just my work, but I look at works like Orson Welles or all these guys. I don't look at everybody, but if somebody brings it up, I can take a peek into it. So
well,
yeah.
Like I said, when I hear people like you, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, I feel sad because I know that people like you are being persecuted in the United States. And yeah, and I again, as someone who is trained in psychiatry and all that stuff, I'm trying to advocate for us, even when you guys aren't allowed to even acknowledge my existence.
So then, if I want to advance and not to look at the negative side of that reality, is that when a child can obtain a duality within its own mindset and reset itself away from the old society matrix, I believe that they are looking for a key somewhere in understanding the numerics themselves, that they too are being held hostage to the system, that the system itself in numerics comes to an end by the end of 2027. These cubes.
We have to love knowledge again. We have to love God. We have to love knowledge and truth and wisdom. And the system is not doing that for us.
God is your neighbor. God is your neighbor. God is your neighbor. Everyone you look at, that is God. How they operate.
Never did make me or create me, but Christ is my neighbor.
Only if your neighbor is good as heart as you are to your neighbor. You turn just like the coin. Sometimes for good reasons and good choices, and then other times for not. What has happened to the society is by giving up our own security to others, they have told you what is right and wrong, and now we're unsure when we make decisions, and now our neighbor is unsure when they make decisions. Now your decision and their decision creates opposition, and now they open the floodgates and they bring everybody in from every other country to be your neighbor, and now their differences are your differences, and now we have no friends.
Well, they're teaching us what to think, right? What is right and wrong, not how to think, which is discernment and wisdom. For example, Kansas, they're teaching you shahad in wisdom and discernment, which is like a medicine, which is to know about the plant and about yourself and about context and how to use it in practice as opposed to just saying a yes or a no. That's the difference between, say, a technician and a doctor. Right? And the difference between a drug dealer Sentence. A real one.
So you know what that word DRUG, right? Isn't it not a fitting word? Would you tell me something more about why did they call it that word? Why was pharma called?
It is. Yeah, like the drugs. It's like we were talking about the cartels.
They just drug you all of them.
The American cartel is the FDA and the DEA. That's the cartel of the empire. So whoever's in charge of the drugs and is administering it is the one who dictates the outcome. If you want to distribute it as a poison, you're going to end up with fentanyl. If you want to distribute it as a medicine, you're going to end up with liberation. It's not the drug, it's the distribution and the administration of the power. It's called the power of the doctor.
So the doctor, okay, is what is 22, and it's 1/4 of the constellations. We spoke Capricorn, right? The Capricorn, number 10. I'm going to just speak about this for a second. Administer. I thought the ministers were in the church. Now they had to add the minister. Now the card couldn't tell because it was the ark, the one that holds the body up, right? The ET to the EL in Elohim. The ET in cartel is the DNA, and that is the crisscrossing between the left hemisphere, the right hemisphere. It's the going. It's the traveling up and down your spinal cord.
You can have people in the cartel that are in Christ and are doing great work.
I was just.
You can have people in the FDA who are not in Christ and are very legal, very, acceptable, and they're just delivering poison. That's why we need discernment. Because that's how they indoctrinate. They're teaching you what to think, who's the enemy, who's your friend, other than helping you love. Love is mutually recognizing humanity, right? I'm the doctor and the addict, right? Like I am the Christ and the Antichrist. I am the devil and the saint. I am human. I'm whole and full. I'm here. You know what I mean?
You're scary, man.
Okay, I just now sent it.
Were you raised in Florida, girl?
In the Bronx, son.
Are you in the Bronx now?
No, I'm on the colony of Puerto Rico.
Oh my God! I just like to be like hanging by that hammock. So listen to this. Listen to this. Oh my God. Oh my God. You see, if you're not there, I don't know this, but I've said it before. I know, but it doesn't matter. Do you know what happens when you make a connection?
Kingdom comes.
You get communication. So this hammock connected 2 trees. Now say the word.
That's the kingdom.
Ham rock. Ham rock. Ham is communication. It's the pig. It's the end of Abraham. Just like when you said the DRUG, it's the rug over your eyes.
Same tree, actually. It's just one branch that leaned over and dug itself into the ground.
Wow.
For example, paranoia in marijuana is not a result of the supposed drug. It's a result of the oppression and the persecution of people who use it.
So for me, would you like to hear a story about the oh my God. Yes, so wow. When you get too much information in your head, it drives you crazy.
I was a psychiatrist in New York, and I found out that you were smoking the wacky tobacco, the devil's lettuce, and you're having the paranoia. I'm going to send you to Guantanamo Beach.
Guantanamo Beach.
But since I know better, I'm going to just call you reality. You say that maybe you're hearing a frequency, right? That maybe a dog can hear or other creatures can hear, right? The planet itself has a frequency. The universe has own, right? Isn't the word of God a frequency? Isn't the word real, right? So it all depends on, and that's what I mean about having a good doctor, right? Like I've never had a good doctor. I've never even met a good doctor. Because I've never met anyone like me. And I don't mean that to toot my own horn, but someone's got to give me credit. If I don't love myself, I don't know. Everyone preaches self-love until I actually love myself.
I have a question.
Go ahead, shoot.
I'm only smart when I know it, but I'm not smart when I don't know it. So I'm smart enough to know to ask. Maybe somebody might know it, but I don't trust everybody, and I'll check it out myself. But I'm going to ask you anyways. So you said the word paradigm. Is this correct?
Yeah, paradigm.
Okay, so I just want to ask you as you are, it's just a word play. It's just like a basic thing. It's like if I was building something like a parachute, not a paradigm, not a dime, but a dine. Now it's not a diner, okay? And when I said all of these things, there's more words that go along with it that lead me to tell me that it's not all of what is 10, and they can't say 5. So what they say is they say half of what it is, and they want to give you a direction of what they're talking about. And the letter A and para, like in parachute. So now we have to sort of understand when we use para with 4 letters, when we use dime itself. And this comes out with where 10 is. So why I say 510? Because the dime is the dimension that we sail the 7 seas. The nickel is the beaver that walks the land, that goes under the water to do the traveling. And if it goes under the water to do the traveling, it can go to another house. The beaver house in the left hemisphere and the beaver house in the right hemisphere. And when you go from the earth under the water, you go from here, you go up, you go under the water, creating the letter E or creating the letter G. It depends in which perspective you see the letter. The beaver is 5 cents, also noted to be the castor in French. The castor. The castor can be also the castaway. Right away we have to put in the letters TH. It must be the teacher. Tom Hanks as a name, as initials, is TH. 8 and 20, the end of the 28-day cycle. Day 29, begin anew.
Came up with that?
I've been studying the alphabet for 20 years. I observed the algorithms amongst the letters, the alphabet, the mathematics in which the rising of the sun and the moon of the 7 days a week, and where in binary there is no 7, there is only a transition in 7 in binary. When 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, which is 3 and 2 is 5, goes back to 1. There is only 6, which equals to what we live today, is what is 1 and 1, 6 times 6 equals to the 7th day. So when you reach the Saturday, everybody must take the Sabbath to take into the account that the Abba, the Father, within the S and the TH, the teacher, connecting the fire sign upon your birth. 19.
So when we say the number 9, right? That has in numerology, right? Like 9 is the spiraling up, right? And then the 6 would be the spiraling down. Like I thought there's no double digit numbers. There's only 0 through 9. That's what I got from numerology.
So,
would you say I'm right on that? I'm on the right path.
Well, more or less. Well, there is a double digit only when you make an expansion in dimensions, and every time you expand a dimension, you add another 0.
Yeah, because there's unreal numbers, there's imaginary numbers.
Yeah, there's imaginary numbers because
The beginning.
right in a 1 by 1 house there's only 1. In a 2 by 2 house there's 4. In a 3 by 3 house there's 9. But when I say 1, 4, 9, I'm talking per face. So here is a face. But in this face, the dictation here shows me 1 to the center. To the center of what? It shows me to the center of 3 and 3. It's on level 2. So therefore there's a level 1, a level 2, a level 3. And to see if I'm right or wrong, I turn it to the side. So now I know there's a level 1, a level 2, a level 3. I know it's a 9 face.
Yeah, but that's all linear, right? And that's not true because, like what I was saying, the 9 isn't the end of it. The next step is the 0, so it's circular. Time is circular. The reality is circular. That's what I'm saying. Right? You don't understand the mystery of 9 if you don't understand what's 0.
All things come in 3, all things revolve in a circle.
I have only began to explain something that took me 20 years to put together. So if you think my words are the end, then thank you very much. But if you don't think they're the end, then let me continue. I only tell you the story from numbers. I'm not telling you anything to do with this world. I take everything that was in the world to the junkyard. Come to my channel. It's the junkyard. I rebuild the alphabet. I use all the words that I ever found. I'll open up the dictionary. I'll open up any book in history written by Einstein. I don't care what it is, how many millions of years ago. I don't have to know anything. If 2 other people talk about it, I will observe their conversation and understand the differences in their discourse. That's all I need to know. Every time there's a change in an algorithm, for everybody says, I don't trust it anymore. Well, you don't have to trust it, but now I see the differences and why they made the change. I understand what the numbers do amongst other numbers. Now I associate the alphabet, and then I adjust it with games, where you can't hide something because they need all the laborers, the workers, to put together their system. So they have to share with us truth. And some of the truth is hidden here in the boxing ring, yet the place is square. And they played 3 minutes, which is 180. 3 by 60 is 18, or 180 seconds, so call it 180 degrees. Half is everything. You don't have 2 heads, you have 1 head. When you play hockey, it's 3 periods. When it's the halfway point in the game, you're still on ice. It's 3 by 20 minutes for those periods. 3 by 20 can also equate to what is 3 by 12. Why? Because 3 by 12 is 36, and they equate 36 inches to be your first hash mark.
The life isn't a game. That's the guy of the devil. I have to stop you there, and I'm going to actually drop down at this point. Just my final warning about this stuff. My whole point is, please don't confuse the man in this world of the God of this world, Satan, with truth. Science isn't truth, it's a description. Logic and reason are not God. They should not be God. They don't do truth, they do the description. Truth is between us and God. We can have teachers along the way, we can have doctors along the way, but ultimately it is between us and the truth. And the truth does set free, and sin does lead to death. The wages of sin is death. That's the best medicine anyone can give you, and that medicine is my doctor, Jesus. The wages of sin is death. All illness comes from sin, in the sense that you're being healthy and healthy and done. It's not rocket science. It doesn't need to be religious. It's just true. And that's it. Have a good one, everyone. I hope that the Holy Spirit shines upon all flesh ASAP, because we need this. We need the truth, even if it hurts.
Take care.
Well, that was.
Did she say megahertz?
I don't know. It was kind of difficult for me to hear what she was saying. Like, I had to really put my ear to the phone. I think you're touching on something. What's your name, buddy? Mr. Tack? That's all I can see.
You know what? It's funny because regardless of who and what my name is, yes, it's, I don't know. Call me Empty.
Okay, Empty.
Well, you do know if you called me an empty can, I would be dancing with the Zodiac.
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, because the word deacon is dance backwards. It's one of the rare 5-letter words that reverse within their own to give only one other word in 5 letters.
interesting. Because look, it's funny that you mentioned numbers, right? Because I look at numbers as also glyphs. And so, H is the eighth letter in the language, in the alphabet, right? And the A represents to me as above, so below, right? The heavens and the earth. And then when you turn the A to the side, it can represent unlimited, and also someone could wear a mask.
Trying to see it. I think it's here. 8. That's the H letter. The H letter is 8. The S letter is 9. The S letter, wow, hold on. Why did I put 9? The S letter is 19. It's the reverse alphabet. 19 and 8 is 27.
Yeah.
So when you turn the H to the side, is this what you're going to say? So when you turn it to the side, it becomes the I9, and then it becomes the R18. The heart of 360 is between the 18th and the 19th number.
Wow.
360 ends at 18 and begins at 19, alike beginning at 1, starting over again. The 19 by 19 equals 361, like starting 1 degree every 360 years. The 19 is the heart of the hexahedron, in which has 12 edges, 6 centers, 18, and 1 to the heart, which equates to exactly what Rubik's Cube is. The Hebrews run this way. The Hebrews run by the sun and the moon, and so do I. That's my project. It's about the alphabet and understanding the difference between the 260 Tzoltec calendar of the Sumerians or the Aztec or wherever you want to go with that, and the 365 day. I already can explain to you how it works. I already know. But let me just finish with this. So if you take a look here, do you see what's going on in the world right now? I and S. What's real is what IS is what's real. 2 brothers are fighting right now. Israel starts with IS, the 9th letter and the 19th letter. Well, the French, if you anybody who knows French, it really helps, is when you say this number in French, you are going to say 19. And when you say the word 19, you're not saying really 19, right? You're saying 10-9. This is 10 in French, and this is 9. So if I say this, what is 10 if there is no 10? What is 9? 9, all of 9 connecting is what makes 10. 9 and 1 is 10.
Yeah.
But the reality is everything is ABC and connecting ABC. So here's the ABC. ABC. Now I want to reflect it. We're going to count from the top down. Hold on a second. I should take out the tape. I paint, I draw, everything. That's not a green screen, by the way.
Wow.
That's not a green screen. That's my whole place.
Wow.
I take
Are you left-handed too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Oh my God. If I was left-handed, I'd be the left-handed is for the. There's a bird that's out there that wraps its brain all the way around to protect its thinking. Yeah, the lefties are really incredible. They do everything in a hook motion. It's like they're the bass to the treble, you know?
Right.
Yes.
Totally. They're really smart for some reason. Like they're using that right side of the brain, so it's.
No, I'm not.
1.5 times the difference. Why? 1, 4, 7 equals to 12. 9, 6, 3 equals to 18. 1.5 times 12 equals to 18. The left side of the brain, the right side of the brain. But when you want to connect them together, you can't touch them. You can't touch them. What happens is you connect everything over here to number 8. All these are number 8. Do you know why?
Why?
Hold on a second. I rather show you. Maybe I have it in my green screen here, but I'm going to show you on on this time machine I got here. They call this the old cell. So I was going to show you number 8, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I like studying numbers. I had a bad dream 40, 50 years ago. Scared the life out of me. It was the alphabet. It was moving around in front of me. Scared me. I swear. I was shaking. My mother, I was like 11, and I couldn't handle it. And all my life, all I've been doing is calculating until the pharma did something to my head, and all of a sudden I started visioning everything differently. I've been having visions for 20 years. The beginning was very hard, but now it's a lot of fun. Only when I communicate with others can I know. Otherwise, I like to say, I'm the empty can.
Okay.
1 times 8, 1 plus 8 equals 9 equals 8. 9 and 8 is 17. 2 times 8, 16. 2 plus 8, 10. And 16 is 26. 2 and 6 is 8.
Right.
3 times 8 is 24. 3 plus 8, 11. 11 and 24, 35. 3 and 5 is 8. Now here's where the middle comes in, right here. 4 creates 44. 4 times 8, 32. 4 plus 8, 12. 12 and 32, 44. Now this number and this number are very special in here. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. Plus 4 equals to 10. 1 plus 0, flip the coin over. Or how about 4? Let's start at 10. But we start at 10 in this position here, and 10-4 is communication. We remove the 4. We get down to 6 for the 60 seconds on the clock. We have 60 seconds on the clock. Why don't we have 100%? Have you ever thought of that? Because the Trinity is 3. A, B, C. The fourth one completes everything. We run the 60 seconds in the 4 time zones of the 4 seasons of the 4x3 zodiac signs of the earth, water, fire, and air to what are the mutable signs of the 1st, the 4th, the 7th, and the 10th, or what is Aries and Cancer and Libra and Capricorn, to what is 2, 5, 8, 11, or 2 Taurus, 5 Leo, 8 Scorpio, 11 Aquarius, to what is 3, 6, 9, 12, to what is 3 Gemini, to 6 Virgo, to 9 Sagittarius, to 12 Pisces. That what is really ironic, that with this, look what they did. It's very rare. Look what they did. That when I equate 4 and 8, it equals to 12. That's a water sign, right? Right? But guess what? So are these two a water sign. The equation of these two go right to water. But not when I do it with these two. 2 and 6 is 8. These are both earth, but it goes into a water sign when added. But yet the direction of plus 4 equals to 8, and plus 4 only got me over to 6. It didn't make the full transition. But not only that, 4 is on the ring of the cube. 6 is on the opposite side of the pole, starting with 1. When you eat your tail, your 1 gets your 6. It's one or the other. You can only see 5 at a time. Is there a number that's been bugging you in your life over the years? 13, 666, 888, Halloween, Christmas. Why do we have Halloween? Why do we have the leap year? Anything.
Well, I can honestly say that, you know, with the numbers, everyone goes through, like, you'll see that same number all the time, right? And with that number you see all the time, I think that's just someone kind of like knocking on your door in a way, like to make you, hey, pay attention, you know what I mean, to numbers. And what you're showing right there was the 7 and the 8 with that corner, that's the water. Oh, that's genius. That's genius, because down here, as you were showing, like with the 3, as you did the numbers with the 3, so that's the earthy sign down there, because I'm an earthy sign. So I saw that, and so then on the corner must be the air, and then the other side.
So here's what's happening in this. What happens here if you look? 8 and 9 doesn't happen here. So this is going to be like an add-on number. This one over here doesn't happen. This one over here is also impossible. This is the lowest of a cube and the highest of a cube. This meets at the pole. When there's only 6 sides, how do you get to number 7? Because everybody joins in the center and holds the same pole. All 3 of them. There are 3 center dots here. 3 sides hold the pole. 1, 2, 3. But it's only counted for 1. So it becomes 0.3. It's 3 opposite sides of the cube to create 6 of the hexahedron.
Okay, you lost me right there. Okay, don't worry about it. Keep going.
No. I'm going to explain it. See this here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking for a ring. I had a ring. Okay. You see this here? This is a controller to these 4. There's also 1 in the front and 1 in the back. There's a total of 6. This is the pole that runs through it. There's 3 levels to this. Every single face level is 9. When you look at it, it has 6 sides. But when you're looking at Rubik's Cube, it has 9 to a face. 9 times 6 is 54 faces. But every corner has 3 colors, but it only equals to 1 cube. Every edge has 2 colors, and it equals to 1 cube. And every center, you only see 1 color. But what you see and what you don't see, for the 3 corner colors, you don't see 3 other colored corners. For the 2, you don't see 4, and for the 1, you don't see 5. These are all equations before I explain any of them. I just want to show you where I get my information is by actual instruments that are working right now, that have been sold on the market and accepted in our minds. The planet, I believe, so this is not about, when I speak, this is not about trying to debunk a Bible. This is not about flat earth or anything. This I speak about, I want to learn the alphabet. So I take what's already been out there, like the alphabet, alchemy, A-L. What is A-L? Why do we put A next to L? What is the letter A? Where have I seen A before? This is what I do. 20 years ago, I had a vision. They really screwed up my stomach and my mind at the clinic. They gave me something that a pill didn't agree with me, and after that I started having visions, and when I started looking at signs and driving down the street, it was very hard for me.
No, brother, let me tell you something. You not, see, I like talking to people like you, because you're dealing with, especially when we talk about numbers. You know what I mean? You know, we know numbers. People can't make numbers lie, but numbers, technically speaking, don't lie.
So what this is here, right, is we talk about this, and I don't know where, I never know where to start. I didn't go to school to come out here 20 years later. I've been doing this for 20 years. I had no idea what was going on. All I knew that in my head it said, don't stop. Every time it said, go in baby steps. Every time you learn something new, it's just going to give you more confidence to continue on. And they had me on all kinds of these MEDs, right? And even when you say the word D-R-U-G, take away the D, it's the rug they pull over your eyes. But the D is actually a hemisphere. In Hebrew, it's the delta angle. In the Greeks, they call it the delta. But in Hebrew, it's a dalet, right? So the spelling of dalet, D-A-L-E-T, or show me another way to spell it. But because they used this alphabet to spell it, it told me this story. E-T is DNA. E-T is number 7. E-T is a musical note. It is hertz of vibration. Would you like me to show you where I got it? You probably have it in front of you right now.
Go ahead. I'm loving this.
Right there. The number 7. The ampersand is right there. It's on the 7 key. You have to use the shift button, right? You have to use the shift button. So what I do, this is nothing to do with outside. If you went into a video arcade, you would walk into my game. I would be sitting here and you would just punch in the numbers and I would tell you where they're located and I would tell you what's associated with it. And for those who study numerology for life path stories, well, what they're telling you is the algorithm and results of past history of ancient astronomers and what happened in the world and what they know and learned about people through how they file folder their understanding of the zodiac, or sorry, of people, nothing to do with the zodiac. And the more they learn, I've got there's somebody out there, GG33's got hundreds of people getting information, bits and pieces from everybody, putting everything together, very intelligent. I'm not telling you the person is a good or bad person. I don't like the technique. It's very fiery, right? A lot of show. But at least I like to see where I might have made an error somewhere or something. I don't know. And I like the show. So, you know, it's like going to the WWE when I see this guy. Except the one thing is, he's one of the best. But he's only going to be like the rest of them. He's only going to be 66% right. Because you can't know it all. And when you don't know 1/3, well, that's all the difference. I'm just yapping just until Tear Gas comes back, because I can't read it. Are there any messages? Holy, is the word holy for boosting holy? So yeah, so ho and holy. And again, there's things that have to be discussed. I'm just going to show you the mathematical relationship and how numbers work. So it's a 4-letter word. It's going to be a 2x2. It's going to be a 2x2 face. So I'm going to go holy, holy, okay, for a pole. I'll go holy, 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 okay, for the reverse sides of the cube. And I'll go 4 times holy for the ring of the cube. I might also go, let's say, because I won't do 2 times holy. That'll be 2 times holy. I'll hold the cube like this. 3 times holy, ho, 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 I'll hold the cube like this, right? 4 times holy, I'll hold the cube like this, and I'll tell you it's around the ring. That's 108, okay? 4 letters, reverse alphabet, 108. The word holy is 23 and 37, which is what, 60? So it's a 6. Ho, ho, ho is 23, 23, 23, so it's in rotation of what? Is it in rotation of life? The L and Y will represent what is the half-life. Ly is 37. When you have 37, it's the association of 1 and 36, which is a complete circle, a mirror of yourself. So if you have a fleur-de-lis, you have a mirror of yourself in which... Let me see if I can do this. This shows us that our DNA has a mirror of itself. And you can't have a braid. You know when you put braids in your hair? Can you do a braid with 2 of them? No. You can do a braid with 3 of them. So anyways, this here is A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. The alphabet fits here. You can put it whatever you want. In fact, you can keep moving it up and down. Even though every time you move it from the position that it is, if I move it from here to here, okay, what will happen is the 36th position will jump onto, now this is still a question I ask myself. I start at 1 here, I end at 36 here. If this was 37, that would be 1. Do I do a direct connect over here, or should I flip it this way and run this way and then flip it this way? That's one of my questions. But anyways, doing a straight connect, I end up with 37 over here. Over here I end up with 35 and 2, 37, and wait a second, 34 and 1, 35, 34 and 2, 36 and 36, no, 35 and 2, 37, 34 and 1, 35, and this one is 39, right, 35, 37, 39. The crisscross connect is all 37s of this. So this is basically, it depends how you want to look at this, right? Each row is a strand of 12 numbers or 12 letters, whatever you want to put in there. It doesn't really matter what you put in, but this is just the mechanics. This is a game that you can find. This is a game you can find online. In fact, it's highly advertised. I just did the artwork of the game. This is the same game, just different ways to design the same game. Each one of them is not finished. Possibly the circuitry, the plumbing, the electric, the fans. When you do it here, what it is, the difference between the X, the difference between this here and this here is this took 9 areas to create, this one over here, okay, took 9 areas to create of 16 dots. This one here is 9 dots of 4 areas. Here is a 4 area. I don't have any 9 areas connected. I'm going to try and explain that if I use these 4, I'm only going to create 1 area space. If I just use 1 area space over here, right, just this one over here, I have 9 surrounding this. 3, right, there's 9, but I only have 4 area spaces. That's a 2 by 2. Now, if I want a 3 by 3, like a cube or tic-tac-toe, I'm going to have to go 4, 4, 4, 4. And then I'm going to have a square here, a square here, a square here, or X, X, X. And then we can have our 9 areas for tic-tac-toe. So it's 16 for a 3 by 3, and it's 9 for a 2 by 2. It just so happens that 16 and 9 says pi. And it's putting the 4th house into the 3rd house. So that's how I was able to understand and design this. But it all started, okay, is because I understood how it has to be done on this paper. And when they spoke before, the fighting going on right now is the 9, okay, the base of the creation for myself, and you can tell me different, is when you have this cube here, right, that's 3 dots. But the way I look at it, okay, it's 1 dot between 2 dots, okay. So 1 dot between 2 dots. It comes in singularity. Here's 2 dots, and here's 1 dot. When it comes together, it's 3. That's the way I see it. This is in game mode. I'm using what I see out there in the planetary system. Right? And when I see this in the planetary system, I also have to look at this. I also want to look at life. The bar mitzvah is 13. The bat mitzvah, right? The bat mitzvah is 12. So I have to associate that. I also have to align it with the 12 zodiac signs and the 13 moons, right? I also have to assign it with what is the 4 times 13 for the deck of cards, right? For 52. Or what is the 13 by 12 equals to what is 156. I need 156 moons to pass in order for the 260 day and the 360 plus day calendar to match up. I don't remember how to explain that calendar, and this thing is getting extremely heavy. Hold on a second. I have to turn it around. Just give me a second. I need a few seconds. Usually it's easier for me to speak and tell stories when I'm not searching in my head all the time. I'm always afraid to get lost. But when others ask and I can go direct to the story, and because of your question, I can never go offline. So that's much easier. So I just need a minute for composure. just look back at the paradigm thing I never finished. It's that when you cannot say 5, right, and you cannot say 10, you say dine instead of saying 5. And when you put the N instead of the M, you are crossing over. It's like crossing through the, let's say, the sea, the ocean. Why? The alphabet splits on 26. The 14th letter has split the alphabet, right? And that becomes another gate. Why? Because 7 and 7 is 14, and N is the 14th letter. So it's just like instead of having one pole, now you have 2 poles. So no matter what I do with this dice, okay, 4, 3, 2, 5 will be 14. And then I can just do this, right? And whatever I do, if somebody was up here, right? Well, you know, 3, 4, 5, 2. 4, 1, 3, 6. So, but check this out. This is really freaky. The math is perfect. Star math, they call it. 6 times 3. 6 plus 3. 18 and 9, 27. 6 and 3 was 9. 18, 1 and 8 is 9. 2 and 7 is 9. You turn it around. 1 and 4 equals to 5. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4. 5 and 4 is 9. 9 to 9. But wait a second. Can we do it with 2 cubes? Six times 3, 18. Same situation. 6 plus 3, 9, 18, 27. 2 and 7, 9. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4. 5 and 4, 9. But it really doesn't matter what it is. It's all the same story. So we drop them down, and we're going to see whatever it is. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals 6 and 9, 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4. 16 and 8, 24. 2 and 4 is 6. So we can just keep doing this all day. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. 8 and 6, 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 5 times 3, 5 plus 3. 15 and 8, 23. 2 and 3 is 5. Do you think we live in utopia? Do you think this house is created? Or is this just because it is what it is, man-made? And the floor I just showed you was man-made. It's a minimum 100 years old, at least, that floor. Replicating the DNA, man-made. Replicating the heart of 666, man-made. Replicating 3 by 12 for 36, what makes a yardstick in which they use on the gridiron in football every Sunday, man-made. That by the breath of the man-made, God creates. The power of the Christ is within inside the Word. You create. Robotic. Who are you? Fleshy robotic. You're no more. We bark all the time, don't we? We talk all the time. We don't know. What do we know? We talk. We say it's man-made. Therefore, the alphabet is man-made. Therefore, the words we speak are man-made. And everything you think is a definition is nothing more than an understanding of something that was man-made. So who are we to speak and say and do anything about what is man-made? When I speak, it's a game. And in the game, this is what it says. I'm just parroting what is on the networks. But how can anybody know? It's funny that in French I was speaking earlier about this combination, right? Oh yeah, so let me hold on a second. Holy, the word holy, yes, so 37, yes, so we did that. Spirit is true. The problem is Holy Ghost, yeah, the ghost, the host of the show. I can just exchange communication. The GH association is just like using the letter F. When you say ghost, if you use that GH at the end of a word like laugh, it would be an F. Now the H is silent. Why is the 8 silent? The 8, once it's existent with everything it touches. And do not think not that there is no more than what it is, because H is also what is the Z, the 26th letter. The 2 and 6 equals to 8. What is 8? 88. 8 times 8, 8 plus 8 equals to 64, and 16 is 88. So what is H, 8 in basic? First of all, it's all 3 of what it is. It's a 268. Reverse, what is a 516? It is a 358, which is a reverse 426. It is a 448, what is a 336? And it is the 101 away from the 7th gate, residing with Big 6. The breath of life creates the Trinity. Abraham, Abraham, A1B2 equals to 3, R18, 21, plus another A, 22, H8, 30, A1, 31, M13, 44. Without the aim, Abra is going to connect to Jacob. On this side, I9, S19, A1 equals to what is 29, A1 is 30, and 3, 33, Isaac. I turn the cube around, and I get the reverse, okay? I am missing the plug to this, and the plug is 67, and that's the water. The plug is 67, and that's the soul. Of the spirit is 76, and that is Mars and Earth. And the connection of 67 is Ishmael, because 6 and 4 is 10, 7 and 3 is 10, connects the airwaves. And at 6 and 4, you connect the earth with the water through the airways of the 7th gate. There's a plank that runs between these two. The E is apparent in these two. The E5 and the 0 have the same story about them. The 5 and the 0, Hawaii 5-0 maybe. The thing about, I'm just trying to see, is when you run from 3 plus 1 equals to 4, and 4 minus 1 equals to 3, which means 1 was split up into 2. It became half and half, 5 and 5. So if 1 could have been what is the split of the diameter, what is the circumference, 180 degrees, split by 90, the animal soul is 12 for the angle, 120 degrees. So I think I said that a little quick, and I also want to go over 1 between 2. I'm hoping I can explain this again. Oh, what happened? Why did Soul go away? Why did you go away? I was waiting. It was interesting to speak to you. Yes, so where was I with that? Wow, I hate when I do that. Yeah, okay, I remember now. So what it is there's only one number between here and here. The thing is with that is these cubes are like Rubik's Cube, and there's 3 levels. And to get from here down to that value, okay, you have to go through the heart, which is 0.5. So they arrive at 3.5. So that's the difference between the two, is the 3 and the 5. And when you multiply the total of it, it equals to 70. But when you multiply the individuality of it, it equals to this. It becomes, when you multiply it by 20, it becomes 70. But when you multiply the 3 by 20, it becomes 60. When you multiply the 5 by 20, it becomes 100. 60 seconds on the clock, 100% of time at the 7th gate. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. You see the 3 and 5? You see the 2 and 4? On the other side is the 3 and 5. Plug this in, you need 8 and 6, dividing by the 7th gate. Plug this in, you need 7 and 5, the electric moon. Why do I say that? Numeric value for electric, GE, 5 and 7 and 5, and for the moon it is 57. The connection to the 88 constellations by virtue of the cube, the 77, the power of the Christ, which is word for word, okay, can be shown. And we already saw what 8 does, and we already saw that 8 has a replica, 53, 35, 26, 62. These are the only ones, okay, that can be seen on a cube. Everything else is used for a different reality. Another thing is the 4, the 3, the 5, and the 6 all duplicate and spell out the letters L-O-V-E. L12, 1 and 2 equals to 3. O15, 1 and 5 equals to 6. V22, 2 and 2 equals to 4. E5, love, duplicates. But it doesn't duplicate just there. It also duplicates here. If every side as spoken before was 9, then 4 is missing here in the 2, 4, 6, 8 position, and 5 are missing here in the 2, 4, 6, 8 position, and in the 5th position. So what is 4 is 5, what is 5 is 4. This is the feminine, because the feminine part equates to that, the word sun, the word love, and 9 by 6, 54, under the breath of life. Channeling, down the channel, out the channel, head first. And then we have 6 and 3. The male phallus. But in the blatant word, the proton, the electron, the neutron. Right? The beginning of the phallus, the proton, the electron, the neutron. And now all we have to do is add that vibration onto it. The P-E-N-I-S, N-I-S, we read it backwards, is the sin. So the Pearl Harbor is coming out of there. And when it ends with I-S, when you draw it on square paper, I-S looks like 1-5. And 1-5 are 2 fire signs, Aries and Leo. One of the cardinal, one of the fixed. In between is running a 4-3-2. That's in the lower house. The poles, you know when you have a pole here and a pole here, and I can tie a hammock onto both of these, you would swing between the 1 and the 5. Well, if you're swinging between the 1 and the 5 in the lower hammock, you swing between the 5 and the 9 in the upper hammock. Straight line up. Here the hammocks are hanging. The direction from bottom left to right is by 4s. The bottom right to left is by 2s. So when I say it, even in the words we speak, by force, I didn't say by force, I said by 4s. So it's 4 going up this way, 2 goes up this way. It's just not going up straight. You know what I'm saying? 2 turns, and 4 turns perhaps in order to get to the 9, 2 turns in order to get to the 7. Is that what it is? How do they mix together? When you go straight up, it's all by 3s. When you go to the right, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. When you go from the right to the left, 2, 2, 2. You go from here. What would be the next one here? Right? The next one here would be over. The next one there would be, yes, it would be 11 over here. That would be Aquarius. So if we went over here, we'd go Virgo into Scorpio through Libra. If we went from here to here, the 4th area. But this is the 4th area in the void. How does it interact with the 4 area dot? The area space between and the actual. need 2 minutes. I think Grandpa's still in the bedroom. Grandpa, it's like 78 years you're in the bedroom. I'm telling you. Oh, the bathroom, sorry. Grandpa still thinks he's going to grow his hair back.
Yeah.
So the brother, the father, the brother, the mother, and the father. If you take the father and the mother, you will create the brother. If you take fives, if you take the number 5 and touch it, your hair will get frizzy. The plasma seems to be 555 in the house of 111, which is the connective moon. I'll explain that after. But the square, I think it's Mars square runs by 5s. The Aztec runs by 5s. It seems like the electronics that come into this house is what is the E world in what is 5G. What is 5 is E. What is G is 7. The eye of the pyramid. I'm going to get off this 8. The eye of the pyramid. 1 second. Well, I just have to put this in order. No one should have to wait, and I shouldn't have to search. Oh. The eye of the pyramid. I think, Shepard, you still around, or is this show going down? Or I'll just take my 2-minute break. I like that. Omega 9. We have the K9. We have the Omega 9. The association of the letter O and the many stories that go along with the O, whether there's one O, whether there's two O's, whether there's one E, whether it's double this. I, in my project and my work right now, and it could change, it hasn't changed yet, I associate whatever is pairs. And Mars has a pair of moons. And Mars is the 4th planet. And Mars and Earth come together numerically in counting 3 times 4, 4 times 3. There's only a singular area space. It's a half area space. Anything to do with half equals to what is 5. And anything to do with splitting 0 in half also equates to 5. Anything that is splitting in half equates to something. 0, 5 equate to the same number. When you do pi, right? Perhaps we should split all the numbers of pi in half and then multiply them by 3. And then we'll get the trueness of pi by 3 and by 4. The reason for this is when you multiply by 3 and 4, there's only 2 possible answers that reside by the numbers 7 and 13, meaning that when I multiply 1 by 3, it will equal to 3. If I multiply 4 by 3, it'll equal to 12. 1 and 2 equals to 3. When I multiply 7 by 3, it equals to 21. 2 and 1 equals to 3. 1, 4, 7 equals to 12, which is 1/3 of what is a hash mark. When 3's come together, this is how it associates. The 7 months of 31 days, the 4 months of 30 days, the 1 Valentine's. But we have to run this for a 4-year cycle where we add the extra day on for the birth, right? That's for you, for the 7th day. That's for your breath, for your connection. It is your 13th moon, for your coming to this planet. You are the sun, and you are the moon. You are the 33 connection of the 10% of the half-life of 30 seconds on the clock rotating. 3 times 3, 9 to 3 and 3, 6. They kicks the extra point every Sunday. They kick the 3 points through the uprights. They call it an FG, a field goal. FG is 6 and 7 for the spirit of 76, for the spirit of the soul. Every Sunday. Time for safety. Oh my God. Wow. Time for safety. Okay, this is really cool. Okay, so first of all, the safety is a 2-point play, and then you have to punt the ball back to the other team. See, my thing is all about when I share a story, it comes from the fairness, which is a game. I reconstruct everything from those games. So the safety, and when you're in construction zone and you're going for the safety, that is going to be orange, and that's going to be a mix of soul and red spirit, red hot spirit. Safety, yeah. Woodpecker. Yes, so it's the two. Oh, and plus you have, oh my God, is that the checkerboard, the silver checkerboard that you walk in, and sometimes they take the snow and ice and salt off, and then they have the collection plate underneath. It sounds like I'm going to church now, right? You got the collection plate to take things off of your boots, which are your sole where your socks go on. You hang it by the chimney, so every time Santa comes down, right? Eyes made of coal, of course, because now that he went through the chimney, must be a snowman. He comes on down the chimney, so I'm not sure if it's Aries or Leo or Sagittarius, Santa Claus, because otherwise he might enter by the front door. Right? And he gets to fly in the oceans of the sky. So the reindeer must be spirit must fly, so spirit must be in the air, because Rudolph was drunk, right? You have to call Rudolph. Rudolph Red Nose. Red Nose is an association of spirits or alcohol, or right? And Santa flew through the air. Actually, he was in his sleigh, but he didn't slay anybody. It was Santa the Slayer. Is that what they said? S-L-I-G-H. But maybe Santa came to slay you with every single gift that arrived under the tree. Right? Even the tree says 3. The reindeer. Isn't it so fantastic that we can just keep making up stories from the reality? I mean, it trips me out. I've been doing this for 20 years. Oh yes, here's another thing, demon. And thank you for being up here, Kira. Eh? That was very nice. That was different. That was different from a strong perspective. Demon. Some of the avatars out here are talking that Mon might mean a singular moon, other than saying moon, meaning that, and I think of it this way, that anything is duplicated is because of the duplication in the system. Just to let you know how numbers duplicate up to 99, and it works like this. There are 10 zeros. Whoop. Actually, there's 9 zeros. Should I say 10 or 9? Okay, I'm going to go with 9 zeros. Okay, there's 9 zeros. Every single zero, okay, is a number. 1 through 9 gets a 0. There's also 9 singular numbers, right? 9 singular numbers. So that's 9 and 9 numbers is 18. Now there's 9 numbers that duplicate each other. For instance, what is 11, 22, 33, 44? And then there are 36 replica reverse numbers, right? And that, yeah, I should have said replica for the other one, right? And that'll be 36 and 36. And that'll create what is your 27999 singular data 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And what will give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And what will give you 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. And then what will give you 12, 21, 13, 31, 14, 41, 15, 51, 16, 61, 17, 71. But when you get to 1771, it's not the same thing. Things change. This is where you grab the pole inside of a cube. There's only 6 sides. And when you hit the 6 sides, you hit that Boreas. What do you call that? Let me see that. Whoa, whoa. When the head gets to the tail of the snake, what do you call that?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's called Ouroboros. So the Ouroboros here happens on 5 movements. Because when you come into this house, you came onto the board. One side is down. Let's say I plug it in like this. I plug one in here, and I plug one in here. So I don't know what medical terms to use for this, but I don't want to get into that. It's a he said, she said, but it's part of building the story of where things are. They walk around the Kaaba, I think they call it. And then the other ones have the black cube here and this cube here. And now they have Magic Square and Saturn Square and Mars Square and Jupiter Square. So I've studied a few of them. And then they made a movie about one of them. And that was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe they made the movie. And no one ever said a word. I mean, one of the biggest movies, one of the smallest, biggest movies ever. And no one said a word about this movie. The movie is called Tenet. The movie Tenet. The movie Tenet, and that when you add up the words Rotas, Seder, Arpo, Tenet, and etc., if you add up the word numerically, do that from A through Z, add up those numbers. What are they? I want to see if it did it properly. So what I want you to do in Rotas, Seder, Tenet, add up the letters and then show me it on a grid, the value, and then put it inside a 9-letter grid that you'll see the numbers where the letters were. Let's see what this does. Oh my God. It's not Rochester, it's Rotas, R-O-T-A-S. And the next word is Sator, S-A-T-O-R. The next word is Tenet, T-E-N-E-T. Here it is. Rotas, Sator, Tenet. Okay? 7 and 3, 10, 2 air signs. 6 and 4, air and water. 7 and 3, same thing. And when I go reduce it, okay, I want you to also do ARPO, and that is A-R-E-P-O. Add that up, and also add the letters up to a single digit. S1, A1, T2, O6, R9. And then I want you to do the same thing with the rest of it. So now you see ARPO, and ARPO is 55, and that's double Leo. So what that is 7 times 6, 7 plus 6 equals to what is, and this is a cuckoo match. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals to 7 equals to 6. Now 7 times 6 is 42. Now 42 creates a space between 6 and 8. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2. Now 7 plus 6 equals to 13, and it creates that gate through 13, which is the cycling of the moon, the male moon, which is a 616 cycling period. This is where we duplicate our alphabet. This is where we duplicate the 26 cards This is where we add on an extra suit of cards. Instead of having 39 cards in the deck or 78, we're now going to have 52, because now they're equatable by 13s and 26s, bringing the calendar and duplication together by those numbers. When we do this, when we add the 42 and the 13, it equates to what is 5 and 5. So when we bring the lower house to the upper house, it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, as equated by 7 times 6, 42, and what is 7 and 6, 13. That if you listen to the words, because I'm on a small screen, equals to what is the words, the numbers 13 and 42 is 1, 2, 3, 4, equals to 5 and 5. I started with 6 and 7. The lower vibration, or the higher vibration, whichever way you want to look at numbers, being number 1 or being number 10, is 4, 3, 2. Which equates that it's brought together through what is 6 and 7. You know what 6 and 7 is? The heart of the zodiac is 6 and 7. The 13 is what is bringing Virgo over to Libra. But it's not. It doesn't only have to be looked at it that way, right? You can also connect it the way they're connecting our timeline, which is Capricorn. They're taking Capricorn. Okay, and they have Capricorn at midnight. So we can possibly take that joint juncture and use Sagittarius and join it to Capricorn, because Sagittarius is between 10 p.m., right? And then what is midnight? And at midnight, it becomes Capricorn. So it becomes 10 through 2, that association. That association is the 9th zodiac sign and the 10th, and the 9th is your birth, and the 10th is the connection to the breath. Why do I believe this? 10 is an association. First of all, somebody once said, take the ball from the 10 and just put it at the top of the hook, or the 1 of the 10, to make it a singular number. But irregardless, 10 is the association of 1 and 9, 2 and 8, 3 and 7, 4 and 6. In this association, there are 8 numbers, and the average is 1 1/4. 1.25 times 8 equals to 10. And now there's a change in this, because we have 12 zodiac signs, we have 12 hours, and my throat is hurting, so I'm just going to narrow this down and be quiet for a minute. All this thing to do with Rota Seder, all these things, it's a cube that everything matches with 10. And this cube is going to look like, have you ever seen Purina Cat Chow, a checkerboard? The chess game? Well, this is going to replicate the chess game, because the number 1 changes its skin color every 9 numbers. So when number 1 goes from Aries into Capricorn, it turns into a dark negative. When it goes into 19, association between Sagittarius and Capricorn, it becomes a red positive. When it goes into 28, which is the association cycle of the moons, I am going to go in at 25 is Aries, 26, 25, 28. I think it's Leo, the 28th one, when the moon cycle ends. And then we start again in Virgo. Where do I get these numbers from? And they're all wrong? No, I'm working in cycles. So what is 1 is 13, is also 25, is also 37, is also 49, etc. It all depends which algorithm you're working with. All the numbers change. Anything you want to ask me that I've said, anything else that you work in numbers or words, don't hesitate. I don't have to know it. You know, I can look at it for a minute and I really just give you not a flagrant, but I just give you a, you know what I'm saying? Just a swiping of what it is, right? 4 is not 4. 4 is 2 and 2. 4 is 3 and 1. The reverse is 6 and 4, 5 and 5, 10. 4 can be 9 and 4 equals to 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 4 can be 8 and 8 and 5, 13. 1 and 3, 4. Is it a 3 number 4, a 4 number 4, a 5 number 4? And so on.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody just marked in the comments I was looking at, I wonder how much I could charge for the work I just did. Did you read that?
Yeah.
How much you think this person should charge? And what did they do? Because I was only here a few minutes when they were here. What is that?
I don't know.
And I'm not a professional. I'm just reading. I guess I should believe the lie so that my mom can love me. I don't know if that's to somebody else crying or... I don't know why people do that. You know, people wouldn't cry if they just understood, you know, that where you are lying back there, why should you do more? You're going to move your feet. You're going to get yourself something to eat. You know? Somebody says send Venmo. I don't know. Is that a taxi service? Because when I read Venmo, it just sounds like Venom. Oh my God, this is crazy. So listen to this. The latter part of V and E, it's an association. It's an electronic source, V and E, inside the word love. The word mo coming together and the M and N, again, back to the moon. It's telling you, okay, the mo, the mother, which is within the moon, is not good. Therefore, the system, these cash systems, are stealing from us. The venom, right, from the system. So when it says this, what I'm referring to is that singular moon we see in the sky every single month, right? Last night was the weirdest one. That moon in my game, not outside the game, but when that moon rises in my game, I'll tell you what it does. It's an information packet, okay? And it's the water, or it's the breath from the Creator sending in information. It's the entire month associated. Now they have to cast it out at us all at once. We'll never be able to hold on to it, but that's okay because they have to give it back to us, right? And guess what? It's catching up. They have nowhere to hide their information. Everything is water, and we are fleshy robotics, and we read this by our lungs and our heart, and I'm happy to be who I am, partaking in the life of a fleshy robotic inside the game of Rubik's Matrix. 90, 90, 90, 90, 99, Matrix TV.
Yeah.
Boy, you talk a lot. Hey, boy, you talk a lot. Oh, my God.
That happens.
No, I'm just talking. I tell you one thing. I don't like flying, so if I get on an airplane, I'm asking them if they can fly 36 hours straight because I got a few words to say. By the time we get off, everybody falls asleep by the time I get on the plane. Oh, he's on the plane? Okay, let's go to bed. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. My mother invites me over and tells me to leave my books at home. I found this really, I'm in a French area where there's not many English books out here, and I found this book yesterday. It was just like, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. People are giving away these books. People are so nice. They're so expensive. And it's all about words, field of vision, but it's about words and how to speak and body language and stuff, posture and what it says.
Nice.
And then there was this part over here. They wanted to see what your IQ is like. So it said match this side with that side. Oh no, this one is over here. How do you feel when you're with somebody? Do you want to lead? Are you more interested? This, that. It's just a lot of like balancing of thought, which that's why I liked it. I didn't care which direction it was going. It didn't make a difference to me anymore because I know everything is taking you into their direction, right?
Yep.
Let me lead you. Wait, what is it? Strawberry fields forever. Every single song that's ever been written, if I ever get one of those chat GPTs like Miles has in, what's it called? I'm going to get that thing to work. And I just want to get right now somebody out there who's savvy about creating programs, who can possibly, if you know someone at Roblox, guess what? I know a huge creator at Roblox, and he's very, very, like, I just can't get two words in. He does his thing, and it's not my thing, so, I don't blame him. The same thing with me. I do this alphabet thing, and that's my thing, so I probably wouldn't be interested in other things. But anytime he's ready to participate, to create this game where every single letter is going to be explained, okay, how it works in cells. Then I'm going to explain every single number. I'm going to explain the colors. I'm going to put the music onto it, but it's not going to be only my work. I'm going to be associating others within it because I'm not an expert. I'm only going to be orchestrating this, then putting in all the equations that will take the music, the vibration, the hertz, the musical instruments, and it will tell a story, okay, of the alphabet coming from only where the dictation and the rules and regulations are based on games. If you have a high stick in hockey, it's a penalty. If it's a goal, there could be 2 assists. If there was only one, we have to do all the equations. Who was involved, who was not. Don't forget the attendance. Was it a paying crowd? Was it the amateur? Was it professional? Was it the Olympics? Was it cartoon with 4 fingers, or was it professional with 5 fingers? Because all the amateurs play like this, 4 fingers. The professionals play with 5 fingers. I know the Simpsons only have 4 fingers. Some of them have 5, but those are the professionals. Do you follow? Grab on for safety. Yeah, so yeah, Kira with the 212. Tell me more about that, because 212 is 55. 2 times 1, 2 plus 1. It's communication. 23, 23. Communication 46. And Elon Musk is that. Elon Musk is 4664, and on the cube that connects with Abraham's cube and Isaac. The time we're in right now is talking about Abraham and Isaac. Do you know how I know? I wouldn't be talking about this. I don't read books. The only time I look them up is when the numbers come up, and then I have to look them up. Oh, I like that. So Manhattan. So what is the hat you wear? The cat in the hat. The communication. The 9 lives of the cat. The canine. Where is the K? What is the K? The K is an association with either Gemini or it's going to be association with Aquarius. Fifth Avenue is good because 11 and 5 fit together. The elections of Trump were on the 11th month of the 5th day, in which is the 310th day. That's going to be an AC communication. When we do this, we will have the same communication happening reflective on May 11th, the 131st day of the year, is a 131313 cycle. It's also going to be a 133113 for 57, or a 311331 for 75. Electric moon, the feminine, the masculine, 5G TV, dividing of the 7th gate, which is coming up in 3 more years, less 1 year. 2027 equals 47. Boop. And they had this trucker thing that was going on. Well, the trucks represent 818. They represent the RH negative, right? You hook up to a kingpin when you have a truck. They drive the 18-wheelers across the interstates. Inter, which means in the earth. And every time a truck goes down the highway next to a river, it ignites energy for the system. Our highways are built to create energy for the system and also to create a broken truck. Because a broken truck is good for the system. To make a mistake is good for the system. Therefore, everybody learns. And there's a big price to pay. Do you know why? Someone has to carry the price. Oh, look at that. Montreal Canadiens, number 31. Carrying the price of the seventh day, 31:13, fits with the number 7 of 7 months of 31 days. I'll only stop talking when I'm done. Who's driving? Miss Daisy is driving. So Miss is what is ISIS. Miss M, ISIS equals to 3 entities. Starting with the letter M in Roman numerals is XXX. Every time you put an X next to an X, it creates an O space or a diamond-like space. 2 diamond-like spaces is 30. Base creation through Mars. XXX, joining the left hemisphere with the right hemisphere through the heart position. Jesus took the wheel. He just had a thrill. Must have been a Mack truck. Mary Magdalene. Here is binary in rotation. I am taking a few minute break, but this is in reality, this is binary in rotation. I'm not joking. If you'd like me to explain this, after my break, I'll explain this.